Welcome to Hidden Histories of the Scottish Borders, a podcast series from Thistle and Time. My name's David and I'm your host for this episode. Today we journey to one of the most dramatic and perilous sites on Scotland's coastline, a place where history, legend and sheer geography collide. This is the story of Fast Castle, clinging to a rocky outcrop perched high above the North Sea. Imagine it, a fortress balanced 45 metres above crashing waves, its walls once commanding the Berwickshire coast. Today only fragments remain, but the echoes of its past are louder than the gulls that circle overhead. The first recorded mention of Fast Castle dates to 1333, though it's likely fortifications stood here long before. By the 14th century it was already a stronghold worth fighting over. In 1346, after the Battle of Neville's Cross, the English seized it. But in 1410, Patrick Dunbar led a daring Scottish force to retake the castle. Think of the challenge: a sheer cliff face from the sea and a steep, narrow approach from land. Yet somehow, against all odds, the Scots prevailed. By the late 15th century, Fast Castle belonged to the powerful Hume family. Their influence grew alongside King James IV, and the castle became not just a fortress, but a noble residence. In 1503, Margaret Tudor, daughter of Henry VII of England, stayed here on her way north to marry James IV. A royal guest at this remote clifftop stronghold, proof of its prestige. But fortune is fickle. After the disastrous Battle of Flodden in 1513, James IV and many of the Humes were slain. Chaos followed. In 1515, the Duke of Albany destroyed Fast Castle, and the third Lord Hume was executed for treason the following year. The castle rose again by 1522, restored to George Hume. Yet peace was short-lived. During Henry VIII's rough wooing in the 1540s, English forces captured Fast Castle once more. But in 1549, Alexander, the fifth Lord Hume, retook it with cunning. His men disguised themselves as suppliers, smuggling weapons past the garrison. But some say the mastermind behind this was Madge Gordon, a widow from Coldingham whose determination and ingenuity freed the fortress. Mary Queen of Scots visited in 1566. A year later, English ambassador Nicholas Throckmorton described the castle as fitter to lodge prisoners than folks at liberty, a grim but telling portrait of its austere strength. In 1570, Elizabeth I's army arrived to capture 10 rebels who then surrendered without a fight. Fast Castle's fate was always precarious, balanced between nations and monarchs. Towards the end of the century, the castle passed to Sir Robert Logan, a man entangled in the famous Gowrie conspiracy to kidnap James VI. Logan's story is stranger still. In 1594, he hired mathematician John Napier, yes, the inventor of logarithms and reputed wizard, to search Fast Castle for hidden treasure. No such treasure was found. Logan died in 1606, but even death didn't end his troubles. His body was exhumed and put on trial in 1609, a macabre punishment for treason. By the 18th century, Fast Castle was already a ruin. Its curtain walls, drawbridge and hoist for supplies from boats below had crumbled. Today, only foundations and fragments remain, silent outlines of a once formidable fortress. Reaching Fast Castle is no easy stroll. From Dowlaw, a narrow path winds through woodland, then plunges steeply through heather and bracken. Loose stones, worn steps and a cliff-edge path test every visitor's nerve. At the end, a short concrete footbridge with rusty chain handrails leads to the rock itself. The climb beyond is treacherous and many turn back. Add the possibility of sea fog, the Har, that drifts in from April to September, and you have a journey as perilous as the history it recalls. But for those who make it, the reward is unforgettable. Wild beauty, the roar of the sea, and the ghost of a castle that once stood proud against centuries of conflict. Fast Castle may be broken stone today, but its stories endure, of daring sieges, royal visits, treasure hunts, and betrayals that echo across the borders. This has been Hidden Histories of the Scottish Borders. Join me next time as we uncover another tale where landscape and legend intertwine. And for more detailed information about the places we visit, please see the website thistleandtime.scot.